and welcome to 7 Minute Scramble, the show where we take 60 minutes of content and squeeze it into a 7-minute show. I'm your host, Sean Regan. We have an action-packed show tonight. Let's start it off with the very talented opera singer, John Nadolski. My. Well, thanks for that, John. Now that we've all heard your talented voice, can you tell us about your music career? Like how it all got started for you back in the day?
Well, it all started for me in middle school. I went to a very prestigious school in the south of England. Oh, it was absolutely fantastic.
Was it?
Yes. If you'd like to know more, I can tell you.
Well, please, go on. I'd like to hear it.
Well, you see, every afternoon I would go down to the beaches and just practice my opera singing for everyone to hear down at the beach. And what was absolutely stunning for me is that within half an hour, everyone would be gone, leaving me with a perfectly clear beach to practice on.
I can't imagine why they would ever leave you, John. Sounds like you're bringing in a lot of people for your shows.
Oh, yes. My last show, we had over 400 people.
Okay, so why opera?
Well, you see, I never really thought about anything else.
That's your only thought that you've ever had?
Indeed.
I see. All right. What was one of your most embarrassing moments in your career?
Oh, well, there was one time that I had a show. It was a little small, maybe about 50 people showed up, and I had a solo. Well, I got up on stage and forgot every single word. So what did I do? I sort of gave a little cough and stood there until my time was up, and that was that. Very embarrassing. Never really got over it.
Well, I'm sure that the audience was riveted with such a performance. I see. All right, moving on. I hear you are starring in the new summer thriller, Arachnami. This film was announced 3 days ago and is said to be a reboot of the 80s franchise. We have a preview clip. Let's watch. Well, that was something. Moving on. Can you tell us more about what the film itself is about?
Well, as you could see in the clip, it's mostly about a spider, or a few spiders, depending on where you start viewing the film, a wave. There's also a girl who is afraid of spiders.
Well, thank you for paraphrasing. How did you manage to get an acting job? You're an opera singer.
Well, that is quite the story. I was really lucky, actually. I was the understudy for an opera. I had to step in for one of the performances after the main actor spilled mustard on his tie. And the director of the movie just happened to be in the audience that night. He was really impressed with my performance and gave me a call the next day.
So, does your opera talent show at all during this movie of yours?
No, not at all.
Okay. So next we have a segment called Real News. I will read off 3 strange news stories. Surprisingly, 2 of the stories will be real. It will be your job to identify the fake story. First up, we have the overheated host. Top Gear host Jeremy Clarkson was fired from the show. According to the story, he was pulled from the TV series for allegedly punching a producer and calling him nasty names for failing to provide a hot steak dinner after a day of filming. Next, we have the bad review. A Yelper visited a Chinese restaurant and gave it a harsh 1-star review based on the horrible service from the staff. The restaurant struck back by releasing surveillance footage that proved that the Yelper didn't even interact with the staff at all and left the restaurant 30 seconds after entering. Lastly, we have the car chase. The LAPD were led on a dangerous high-speed chase by a vehicle traveling at speeds of over 120 miles per hour. The suspect eventually ran out of gas and slowed to a stop. When the police went out to arrest the driver, they were surprised to see that the car was an empty, self-driving prototype that had suffered a malfunction during a trial run.
Well, those are three very interesting stories. This is going to be a tough one. I'm going to have to say, story number 2?
Nope, you're wrong. The fake story was actually number 3, the car chase. CBS News reported on March 25th that Jeremy Clarkson was in fact fired from Top Gear. And, in Millbrae, California, a man was actually caught on tape lying about the service at a Chinese restaurant. We have little to fear from self-driving cars. For now.
Well, what's that supposed to mean? Are you saying self-driving cars are going to be unsafe in the future?
Well, we are almost out of time for today. Tune in next week where I will be interviewing Miley Cyrus about her dramatic career change after Disney and where she wants her career to go in the future. I'm Sean Regan, and that's the show.